Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about all things Prism Shards. Now, if you've been watching this channel for a little while now, then you'll know that I love me some Prism Shards. Today, we have a new summon pool. Well, yesterday actually started, I think. The Protector's Summon Pool with some good headline characters. I swear, I've been trying to get Graco's Turn Drake for multiple different pull sessions, and I have not done so. But maybe I might today. This is largely a Protector Summon pool, obviously, with some pretty good characters. Some ones to point out that I'd like to point out anyways, that I think would be worth having would be Operdin Clanfather. There's someone in my clan who does really well with him. Bells the Reckoner, really good HP champ as well. And Snick Track, also very good. So quite a few. I actually have Arashi the Riptide. I don't use them that much, but haven't had really time to build them. There's some really good characters in here, and as usual, what I really love about these is that it's essentially a Sacred Shard, but it's like much condensed, right? And as far as the epics go, there's some okay ones in here, but ones that I really want to point out is Vogoth, really good epic defensive. His passive is just really, really good, and particularly the healing that he gives out to the team as well. There are also some Lady Mikage fusions in here, so it wouldn't be too terrible, unless you already have them, of course. As a consolation prize, they have Ilsinia. Now, I already have, or Ilsinia, and I already have her, unfortunately. Actually, I think I have 2 copies of her. And then Delaja, I do not have her, so that would be something for me as well. And some other good characters like Taragi the Frog, Miscreated Monster. Those are the ones just off of the top of my head that I would use in my roster. So there's a few that I don't have. So 12 epics, 8 legendaries in the headline of Graco's the Turn Drake. So we're going to be talking about all that and how you're going to be able to get that and the easy ways to do so. And in my opinions, the Gear Ascension tournament and the best way to cut through this. So before we get started with the video, though, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for? Download using the QR code in the top right of the screen or in the description down below. There's a link there to get yourself Karato Fox Hunter for free. You can also get 3 free epics, Tagore, Ugo, and Fane. Some really great epic champions to start your journey off in Raid Shadow Legends. And also, do you want to mention the promo code Demon Slayer to get Tholen Falbeard. We've been talking about him a lot this month. So this promo code, I think, is only available till the end of this month, which is only not like another week, basically. So this is available within the first 48 hours of a brand new account to get yourself a free legendary Tholen Falbeard starting off your game, or an alt account, whatever it is, if you're a new player, or an alt if you want to keep playing. So let's get started with the video, though, of course. And I need to talk about the Gear Ascension tournament. Now, this comes like, these summon pools come around once every 2 to 3 weeks. And honestly, it's just a really easy, amazing way to get a lot of stuff. And it's honestly not even just the Prism Crystal, but also you do get some great stuff along the way. Here you get a Immortal Soulstone when you're grinding up. You're getting some work towards a Primal Shard, some gems and Ancient Shard. But as far as how you get points, you have to do the Sand Devil's Necropolis or the Shogun, Phantom Shogun Grove. And I'm going to talk about that because depending on how far you are into the game, you might have an easier or harder time with certain ones of these. So I do want to talk about that in this video here. Before we go to any pulling, because I don't have the shard yet, need to farm a little bit more. So Phantom Shogun's Grove, I find this the easiest dungeon to climb. Now that's just my personal opinion. So I'm farming 17, and the way that this mechanics work is that if you have, and this is a simplified version of what I'm trying to say here, but basically if you have characters with high red stars, they're going to do more damage against Phantom Shogun. I'm just going to do one run just to show you guys. Still need some points, so we're going to do a multi-battle, or a super raid here. And so, essentially, you know, he doesn't have a lot of hit points, at least on these lower levels. Trying to get all the buffs down. If you have a block buff, this really helps as well, which is why I love using Ugo, one of the characters you're going to get with my promo code, of course, here. And so I just use my characters, and he has the Awakened Weakness passive here. So if you don't have red stars on your characters, they're going to do less damage. And if they do have higher red stars, they're going to do more damage. And that's just how it is for this. He does also have a block passive skill. So you might have seen this red thing, the protected debuff. That is, unfortunately, blocks passive. So there's a few characters that are going to have some pretty crazy passives. That's going to suck once he takes his first turn here. You can see it again. But having a block buff is going to help prevent some of his buffs and things that he does. So that's really good to have there, especially making sure that you outspeed him. So you can see here that I now have block passive skills and this enfeebled debuff, which is not fun as well Honestly, I kind of forget what this does a little bit, but it's pretty bad. It came later on. Block. Passive skills, it's down here somewhere. Enfeeble. Champions under Enfeeble can only land weak hits. So that's not good. And that has to do with his mechanics, because you do want to run, you do typically want to run characters that are going to land weak hits against him. So you do kind of need to think about what level of Phantom Shogun you're running. Now, in this case, I'm running the Magic. So this isn't so good for my Thane, who is a Spirit, because you do this is the Shade counter, and you do, whenever an enemy lands a weak hit on Akumori, increase the Shade counter whenever Akumori lands a critical hit. And there's some stuff down here that whenever you use a skill, basically, you know, so you actually, you know what, you probably don't want to land a weak hit. So I probably should be doing a different one, actually, in fact, because my Tholen is going to be landing weak hits, and maybe that's not helpful. But we're killing him that fast anyways. It doesn't really that matter. So that's Phantom Shogun Grove, and you can see that I did 2 runs of these, and I got 96 points for spending 32 energy. So for me, anyways, I find that this is the fastest way for you to actually get through this. But we're going to talk about Sand Devil's Necropolis, because this is going to be for Ascension material for regular gear. Phantom Shogun is for accessories. Now, I'm mostly running pretty far back here. Just to make it a little bit easier on me, I'm running stage 14. So this is a little bit less for 28 energy, and you need a character that runs sleep. This is just the easiest thing to do. Sometimes I land it, sometimes I don't. I have Esther Dreamsong here. I go in for that skill there, and then I try to land the sleep, which I do, which then allows me to place debuffs on the boss, and then I go to town, right? But then he's going to wake up, and he's going to do a big giant AoE, and you can see that actually on his next turn, he should do that, which is this, the Feasting Swarm. It does a crap ton of damage. And hoping that my Strategos Islan here has some ally protection, so it's not gonna. it hit Ugo really hard, because Ugo took 2 turns, while my Strategos Islan's buffs did not, it didn't extend to him, to Ugo, unfortunately. But they survived, and then I keep going, and essentially just do a little bit more damage. So you can only apply debuffs when the Sand Devil is asleep. So ideally, you want a character that has a reliable sleep. Also, he does have high resistance, so you need to make sure that your character that's doing that does have a pretty high accuracy. So, I mean, it didn't take me that long. It was slower than Shogun. It took me a minute to do this. My best is 36 seconds on this stage. 75 for 28 energy. It's just not as much. Like, I find that it's easier to climb Shogun's Grove than it is for Sand Devil, but that's just me. I do find that this boss is harder, in my opinion, than Shogun, at least in this kind of mid-range. I would need to be more specific. You know, I think for Shogun's Grove, I largely tried to brute force it, so I would need to make a more specific team around that to get there. But at least I feel that it's easier to climb Shogun, and therefore you're spending less energy in order to get the tournament done. So that's just my thoughts there. I'm going to go finish up grinding up, and then we're gonna pull my Prism Shard and see what I end up getting for today. All right, and we're back, and I did get my Prism Crystal, Prism Shard here ready to go, but I really do love pulling for these, and I do think that they're of better value than if you were to buy Sacred Shards directly. I don't usually recommend that, and these are basically half price. So for me, it's 28 Canadian dollars for 2 more Prism Shard pulls. Now, this is equivalent to 1 Sacred Shard, which has a vastly crazier, type of pool. The only difference is Sacred Shards are often used for events, for points and things like that, whereas Prism Shards not really so. So for the purposes of this video, we are going to go ahead and buy 2. I normally do this once a month, so I'm going to be doing this one time. We're going to be spending $20 US or 28 Canadian to buy 1 pack of 2. So we're going to have 3 Prism Crystals, Prism Shards to pull here today. See, it automatically goes into my window up here at the top, and I'm gonna pull the put the epic pull music on. Who knows, we might get lucky. There's also, like I said, some fusion characters for which I don't have, namely Delaja. So we'll see. But ideally, right? Maybe we'll actually get Graco's Turn Drake this time. I think I've tried to pull him like 4 different times. So let's get started for Prism Shard number 1. Let's get this going, and we got a purple, but it is Magnarn. I think I have 3 or 4 of them, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but I could still use some Faction Guardians for the Demon Spawn. I think as far as what he does do it. He's kind of weird with the HP burn thing, so you do need somebody else to apply HP burn, I'm pretty sure, because he doesn't actually do it himself. places an extra hit on enemies without HP burn. So it kind of depends. Like, he does hit twice on this. He does do some good damage, some AoE damage if you build him that way. And his damage is based on HP. So if they don't have any HP burns, then you just do a big bulk load of damage. But otherwise, it has a chance to stun if they are under. So kind of better for, I would say, for Spider, right? To actually place the stun debuffs on the Spiderlings. That makes sense that you would need to have HP burn. So he runs in conjunction with them in that matter. Debuff spread under HP burn. So again, it kind of varies depending on what you want him to do. If you just want him to do AoE damage, then don't run him with an HP burn character. I guess that's it there too. Okay, number 2. Let's go. Maybe we'll get something good. Yellow. I don't think I have this guy, but I don't know if he's very good. Brask. HP. I do need some more orcs, but I just don't know if he's the one. Heal this champion by 10% of their max HP whenever they inflict a critical hit. All allies, actually, in fact. The Ascension. Single target. I don't like that. If I'm going to use for faction wars, I prefer AoE characters. And so, yeah, he's under there, but realistically, I don't know if he is that good. So that's going to be a bit of a miss for me, unfortunately, but I think it's a character I don't have. And for my last Prism Crystal, please give me the luck of all that is above. And we're going to go for our third and final pull here today. No, we got another Husk. So this normally wouldn't be so bad. He's actually a really good nuker. 35% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. Damage inflict is proportional to enemy's max HP. So he's actually pretty good for that. And damage according to this champion's current HP, retaliate. It's just not what I was looking for here today, but that's just sometimes how the cookie crumbles when it comes to Prism Shards. But it is still a, you know, I did get different characters, right? It just wasn't the ones that I was looking for here today, unfortunately. And I have to keep to my guns in terms of pulling only 3 per Prism Crystals. But you guys might have better luck than me, right? Odds are is that there's a 6% chance for a Legendary, and there's going to be 6 people of every 100 that do this that are going to, or more, right? If you have good luck, they're going to walk away with some legendary characters. So let me know if you do end up doing the Prism Crystals, Prism Shards, what you ended up getting, if you got anyone good from the legendary pool. Fortunately, I did not, but I think it is still the best thing to do because it's basically a free, smaller pool of champions that you can get for free by grinding out the Gear Ascension tournaments. Stuff that you're honestly going to need anyways. You know, this is stuff that I've neglected for a while as far as Ascension and gearing, using Ascension material on some of my good gear, right? And that's led me to things like this piece of Gauntlet, just as a, for example, 60% crit rate, but 20% extra damage, you know, bolstering some of my other items as well with percentage, HP percent, defense percent, crit damage percent, etc, etc. So another way to get your stats up higher on your gear, and you're double dipping here by getting a great Prism Shard, and maybe you'll actually get something good. Unfortunately, I did not, but maybe you guys will. Now, before we go, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for? Download using the QR code in the top right or in the link in the description down below to get yourself Karato Fox Hunter for free. And you'll also get 3 great epics, some which we've even talked about in today's video, Fane, Ugo, and Tagore at account levels 10, 20, and 30. And that's of course not all, because if you use the promo code Demon Slayer, you'll get yourself Bolin Foulbeard absolutely for free within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. So don't delay, use Demon Slayer, it's only good until the end of the month. That's it for now, everybody, and I'll see you guys on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.